你好，祝你有美好的一天。这就是频道 Celebrity News Today 247。这是今天的新闻。
Xiao Zhan is in a new storm. Our past works mentioned again. Fans were condemned again. Wedge, in the restless June, there are always one or two things annoying. The young actor Xiao Zhan developed a double deck, and within a few days, the heat was consumed again, and he was caught in a new storm. From Chengdu Tan Duckblood leaking a handsome guy traveling to Zealand publicly insulting stone technology, it's definitely not groundless. Waves are fiercer and turbulent. The fan circle battle seems to have not stopped, and the insulting groups and individuals out of the circle are insulted by the instigators. It's common for them to carry their sins. Peter Pan had to swallow his anger, hold his head high, and be innocent. What is helpless is that, after knowing it, he was innocent and violently endured the new infamy. The pot comes from the sky and points to you by name and surname. If you don't take the move, you will not be able to avoid subsequent troubles. The complicated internal entertainment, when countless pairs of black hands are directly behind you, countless black materials are added to you. Not remembering hate is the way to survive. Forward, tensions and tensions, it's on the verge of breaking out. The sudden emergence of the situation turned to bad public opinion. The origin of the matter, the rebel has an increasing number of scores. CCTV's Drama King this month, the starring supporting role has superb acting skills. Each episode advantageously illustrates the appeal of the work. What is very strange is that a good drama with a score of 8 or more cannot tolerate a trace of incompleteness. On Weibo, people with conspiracy and scheming have the mentality of aggrieved and cried out for grievances. The manuscript was published in public with the title Peter Pan is afraid that the traitor will win the prize. Form a group to score 1 star, 10,000 words omitted here. Look, really faithful. A fringe drama near 9 points. I also want to take high standards and climb the altar. Expose some unrealistic words on public platforms. It would be too much to sing this play. Indeed, in the traffic market, it is normal to step on one and hold one. However, it violated the rules of the industry by sending supplements without conscience. Following the appearance of slander articles, I have seen with my own eyes how terrifying the fan circle can poison people's thinking. One-class antagonism, complete loss of face, threatening with personal judgment. Do all the things that are conscientious, and those who ignite the fire will burn the original appearance of things. In an aggrieved situation, he smelled a murderous aura. It turned out that the mortal enemy in social warfare never left. They hide in a corner, pretend to be, and come back out of the arena in an ugly posture. The last time something happened to the crew of Ace Force, Peter Pan took off the official blog. It was said by the shameless Big V that it was deliberately provoking disputes. What is more embarrassing is that the light of the national drama at the beginning of the year, 4 months after the closing of Duluo Continent, another tragedy happened. Therefore, there was no slamming action. How can there be the ability to make nonsense? Clearly venting for a certain organization, let Xiao Zhan take the initiative to bear the blame. Behind the ground is another face. This time, relying on Zhu Yilong to hold the injustice and fight the eyeballs as a gimmick. Privately rushed to give Duluo a low score. I would like to ask, are you discussing the evil tricks in advance? The hatred of the most following the trend towards Xiao Zhan is on the rise, habitually making troubles, formed vicious competition within the scope of consciousness, unable to defeat the artists, and sent naval forces overnight. Send a unified copy, deliberately let the work bear the name of a bad drama. Throughout the nonsensical incident, the works of the past are mentioned again. Scoring new disputes, 20,000 people scored 1 star, with a score ranging from 6.6 to 6.4. The franchisees are just a group of embarrassing black people. There is no principle, his thoughts are biased, and Xiao Zhan looks resentful in his eyes, taking advantage of his energy to mess up the situation. The familiar methods and the behavior of the activists are like those who used to do nothing, a bully who makes a farce regardless of the consequences. The public slowly put aside the truth, looking at the humiliation of Xiao Zhan from a collective perspective. Maybe his kindness, forbearance, repaying grievances with virtue is the source of hard walking, which also crushes the average artist, who wants to be low key, but can't help but high Key to paranoid thoughts, public opinion regardless of right or wrong, with a look of doubts. How could the mastermind of the crime give up easily? The story of another village in the future is difficult to happen. In the dimly lit world, the light can illuminate people's hearts, and the world is helpless. Only by seeing clearly can you be rewarded. The strong man with no virtue on his mouth and full of hostility on his face is just a victim of the times, a puppet of the circle. Since joining the Black Xiao Zhan, the team that vilified the image of young middle school students has been arrogant and has no regrets. Paranoid thinking, deviating from the disease of the air left by the road of justice, grabs everyone's hearts. How much deep hatred is there, slandering others with a hypocritical face? To be honest, the unjust Xiao Zhan fan group gave a low score for the rebel and was condemned again. From the beginning, I found it ridiculous. They are rational, charitable, and only focus on their own family. Do not do harm to others for self-interest, and respect open contests. A lively drama in disguise. The chaos on the surface is incomprehensible, the lover behind it is well known. Peter Pan falls into a speechless incident. On the one hand, it exposed the bad intentions, bad ways, and unpredictability of some artists in the circle. The evil on their faces is entirely natural. On the other hand, it's full of untold social truths, the turbidity of the rice ring. We cannot turn a blind eye. This type of typical hegemonism is essentially a stark criticism. 3. Shahong has something to say. The prosperity of the heyday and the glory of the times are particularly charming. Want to go to the fire? The prerequisite for avoiding the storm is to have a tenacious heart and say goodbye to your weak self. To lodge a complaint against the messy phenomenon of stench, self-direction and self-acting. To avoid a repetition of the tragedy, he is not timid and fearful, but Xiao Zhan has a perfect personality and a stable mentality. He has a mentality of schizophrenia with the desire to advocate a simple life. So, Peter Pan is willing to follow, willing to buy his endorsement. Watching his play, the overseas branch will praise this outstanding Chinese man infinitely.